Welcome to another bonus edition of Upon Further Review.
Upon further review,
Welcome to another bonus edition of Upon Further Review. And in this edition, we'll be talking about the Sunday night football game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. And this Week 5 matchup will be on October 5th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can catch that on NBC Sunday Night Football in prime time. And the Bengals come into this game at 3-0 as they are one of two undefeated teams thus far in the 2014 season. And the Patriots are 2-2 after getting blown out last Monday night, as they now have another primetime game in back-to-back weeks. The Chiefs beat them up bad on Monday Night Football as they won 41-14 over these Patriots. The Patriots had won 2 games in a row after losing that first game in Miami. So in Week 1 they lost to the Dolphins, then they went to Minnesota and beat up on the Vikings, and then they had their first and only home game of the season thus far, and that was against the Raiders, where they won by a touchdown in a low-scoring affair. And then they went to Kansas City, like I said, on Monday night, and they got blown out. They got beat up bad in that game. And now, after getting beat up by the Chiefs, they go home and they got to face the best team in the AFC, the Cincinnati Bengals. So it's going to be tough. As I said, the Bengals are undefeated. They won an impressive game in Week 1 as they beat the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. And then they won 2 games at home. First, they beat Atlanta, and then they beat Tennessee, both in Cincinnati. They almost shut out the Titans. They just got that late touchdown. It was kind of cheap. Otherwise, it would have been a shutout for the Bengals, and their defense has been very impressive thus far. They're coming off a bye week, so it'll be interesting to see how they do off of the bye week. And let's look inside the numbers for this game. And so far in the season, the Bengals are the number 11 team in passing yards per game. The Patriots, on the other hand, have been struggling in the passing game, which is very uncharacteristic of a Tom Brady quarterback team, as the Patriots are 30th in the NFL in passing yards per game. When we look at the pass defense, though, the Bengals are 16th in pass defense, and the Patriots are number 1. The Patriots are the number 1 team in the NFL against the pass. Now, to hear most people talk, you wouldn't think that. You were like, huh, what? You wouldn't even know. But the Patriots are the number 1 team in terms of yards allowed through the air. So, it'll be interesting to see how that matchup plays out. I almost, it's like, who has the edge there? Because in the passing game, the Patriots have been so bad at passing the ball. The Bengals are actually, even though they're 16th in passing yards allowed, they're actually kind of better than that stat shows, because they've been playing with the lead, and so teams are racking up some, offensive passing yards on the Bengals late in games, which is kind of like cheap yards. Really, the Bengals are a lot better at passing defense than that number indicates, and they definitely can cause some turnovers as well. Patriots, on the other hand, they also can cause some turnovers in the passing game, and they have allowed the least amount of yards per game through the air, despite that game against the Chiefs in Week 4 on Monday night. So it'll be interesting to see which defense, because as you've seen so far, the Patriots, in their 2 losses, they looked horrible. Their defense just couldn't really stop the Dolphins or the Chiefs. But then in their 2 victories, they looked extremely impressive. Of course, that was against Minnesota and Atlanta. And I'll tell you, the Bengals are way better than those teams. So you got to kind of give the edge to the Bengals in the passing attack, even though you got to expect at some point Tom Brady is going to get things going. And we'll talk about that more in a second. Let's look at the running stats. When it comes to rushing offense, the Bengals are 15th in the NFL in rushing yards per game, whereas the Patriots are 23rd. So the Patriots, you would normally expect, them to have something like that, in terms of a running attack, but you wouldn't expect that to actually be the strength of their offense, would you? No, you wouldn't. So that's kind of, not good for the Patriots. And when we look at the running defense, the Bengals are 16th when it comes to stopping the run, and the Patriots are 23rd. So they're actually, interesting enough, when it comes to the run, the Bengals are mediocre with running the ball and stopping the run, and then the Patriots are pretty bad when it comes to running the ball and stopping the run. So the Bengals should be able to pick up some yards on the ground. So they're actually part of the reason why they don't have more yards on the ground is just due to the fact that they're not. Well, they actually are running the ball more. They run the ball more times than they pass. They have 102 yards running to 88. But a lot of that though has to do with once they get up and they're just kind of running out the clock. They're really kind of using the run just to eat up the clock, and they're not really, at that point picking up as many yards. But anyway, if you look in terms of points scored, the Bengals are number 7 in the NFL for points scored. The Patriots are 24th. So the Bengals kind of score no problem. They seem to put up points sometimes at will. And the Patriots, though, struggle to put points on the board is they've actually been having, it seems like their defense has almost been outscoring their offense in some instances. Not quite, but, that's a little exaggeration. But that's just how bad their offense has been playing. Very uncharacteristic of the Patriots. When we look at points allowed, the Bengals are the number 1 defense in points allowed. So the Bengals, like I said, they do not let teams score. They don't let teams in the end zone very often, and they do not let up too many field goals either, as they are the number 1 team in points scored, points against. And so that's really a huge, huge reason why they're undefeated, and it's probably the reason why they're more likely to end up undefeated after this game, even though I am picking the Patriots, as crazy as that sounds. The Patriots, on the other hand, are 14th in the league in points allowed. As you see in their losses, they let the teams run up the score. In just the 2 losses that they have so far, they allowed 74 points. So when they lose bad. And of course, though, when they win, though, they've only let up 16 total points in their 2 wins. So it's kind of like, which team is going to show up? Is it going to be the team that allows 74 points, or is it the team that allows 13 points in 2 games, respectively? So, I mean, that's going to go a large part towards who wins this game. I'll tell you, all the numbers and everything points towards the Bengals winning this game. The Bengals right now are the class of the AFC. They're the only undefeated team left in the AFC. And as we look at history tells us the Bengals are going to win this game. That's what history says. And that's what the numbers say too. All things point towards the Bengals' victory. So why am I picking the Patriots? Well, part of the reason I'm a little bit biased, I'll admit it, I'm a little biased, but so I'm almost searching for some reason to justify this pick, even though it makes just about next to no sense. But here's the thing. In all the years that Bill Belichick has been the coach of the Patriots, it is very, very rare for the Patriots to lose back-to-back games. That doesn't happen. And usually the worse they lose in 1 week, that's how much better they play the next week. And last week against the Chiefs, they actually allowed more offensive yards in the first half of that game than in any other half of football in the Bill Belichick era in New England. So no other New England Patriots team coached by Bill Belichick has allowed that many offensive yards in a half as they did in the first half against Kansas City. And you can be sure that they had a tough week of practices, even though it's a short week, coming off of that Monday night game. It does kind of benefit them that this game is a Sunday night game. It gives them a few extra hours, even though they lost a day. It's almost like a half a day. But you know that they're going to be in there, and they're going to be bringing their A game. I know that they've been struggling all year, and there really is almost no reason why the Patriots should win this one. But that's when the Patriots seem to play their best. In those games where they shouldn't win, and where everyone's against them and everyone's picking against them, that's when the Patriots seem to play their best football. Of course, like I said, every statistic is pointing towards the Bengals. Even if you look at history, and the history is kind of almost where I'm going for to pull this pick out of my hat, I guess you could say, to actually be so crazy as to pick the Patriots is, I'm sure I'm one of the very few people in all of America, in the whole world, that even thinks that the Patriots have any chance. Like I said, I admit that the Bengals should win this game. Everything looks like the Bengals got this, and it's kind of going out on a limb for sure to pick the Patriots. But like I said, I've seen too many times the Patriots pull off games that where everyone's counting them out. You can never count out Bill Belichick, never count out Tom Brady. We'll see though. We'll see what happens, and I'll tell you, if the Patriots lose this game, then that's really it's gonna be tough, picking them going forward if they lose back-to-back games. But we shall see. Is everything that the pundits are saying about the Patriots, is it true? Are the Patriots done? Or can they win this game against all odds? I think they can. I know it's, like I said, it's going out on a limb, and I'm pretty sure anyone listening to this is probably picking the Bengals, and I don't blame you at all. If anything, I blame myself for picking the Patriots, because it's kind of, like I said, it's going against all the evidence, really, just about. It's like 99% saying Bengals, but once in a while, teams pull it out, so we'll see. Like I said, I won't be surprised if the Bengals pull this one out, but I think the Patriots somehow find a way to do it. I think Tom Brady is going to finally have a good game. Gronk is going to have to be a big part of that. So the Patriots, they got to get things going on the ground. Stephen Ridley's got to have a big game. They got to get Gronk into the end zone. The receivers got to start, getting open. Brady's got to, they got to give him some time. What they need is better play in the trenches. That's really where they've been suffering on the offensive line. Logan Mankins left, and now it seems like they have no line. And then their defense needs to play the way they did against Minnesota and Atlanta. If they can do that, then the Patriots have a chance. That team shows up. But if their defense doesn't play lights out, the Bengals are just very talented. They've got a great defense themselves, and I really expect this to be a low-scoring game, actually. I won't be surprised if this one ends up being like 9-6 or something like that. But anyway, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Very interested to hear your opinions. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to get more content like this, hit the subscribe button as we bring you upon further reviews for each and every single game played each and every single week. That's what you're listening to right now. We do this for all the games. We also bring you recaps of each and every single game. And we also have a weekly show, The Wedge, where we do fantasy picks, we do quick picks. We have a weekly rewind, and we also do the upon further review for the Thursday night game. We try to have that up each week on Wednesday. Sometimes we get it up early on Tuesday. Sometimes we're a little late and it's up on Thursday. It's always up before that Thursday night game, and at the latest, we try to have that up by Thursday morning, like I said, at the latest. But ideally, it'd be up on Wednesday. We also do recaps for all of the baseball playoffs leading up to the World Series and including the World Series. We also do some college football recaps as well, so make sure to check all of those out. Thank you very much for listening. We greatly appreciate it. I hope you're having a good day and have a great weekend and enjoy all of the sports.